We have a new project. This is our new project. Here, we are using 741 IC op-amps with 4 LED lights, 4 and then another 4 pieces of LED. So we have 8, and then we're using the transistor, 2 transistors, some resistors, and this capacitor, and then we have the power indicator LED. So what are we going to do now? We're going to make an LED 2 by 2 by 2 LED cube using 741 op-amps as the driving IC or our component to be used. We're going to make a 4 by 4 2 by 2 by 2 LED cube. We're going to use this 9 volts as a supply. Let us we now have the two dual LED flasher using the 741 op-amps. So this is our basic circuit. Flashing dual LED flasher using op-amps. Op-amps here is configured as an oscillator, PWM controller or generator. And then the two transistors serve as push-pull output or driver, push-pull driver. So it's capable of blinking 2 sets of LED. When one is on, the other one is off. So alternate flashing of LED. And then the flashing, the blinking is controlled by the resistor and then with capacitor. So we also have the resistor for the transistor, resistors for the LED. For each LED, we have each resistor for the LED so that we can have a stable current supply. So you can see here, it's alternate flashing of LED. But our objective is to make LED cube 2 by 2 by 2. But for this arrangement, we're going just to rearrange these 2 sets of LED flasher in a cube so that we can achieve that LED cube. So as I've said, the 741 op-amps is configured as oscillator. And what is the op-amps 741 op-amps oscillator? We now have our circuit, a LED cube 2 by 2 by 2 using 741 op-amps. So we're using 9 volt supply. And we have this power indicator, blue LED. So when we connect the power, we have this power indicator just to indicate that the power, we have now the power to the circuit. And then for the supply of the op-amps, this is the op-amps. We have 9 volts. The supply is connected to pin number 7. And then pin number 4, ground. So you can see here, it is one using one supply, one voltage supply. And then pin number 6, the output. Pin number 2, inverting input. Pin number 3 is non-inverting input. 4 ground, 7 supply, 6 output. And we have these two transistors. What is the use of these two transistors? We have the PNP type and then NPN. PNP BC557, NPN BC547. This serves as a LED driver to our LED cube. So this series of LEDs consisting of two groups, we're going to arrange this in LED or to become a LED cube. So we're just going to arrange this in which this LED, they are parallel connected in parallel also with this LED and connected to the collector of this one transistor. The other one is to the emitter, also to the supply. Since we're using one supply, one voltage supply, which is the battery, so usually op amps, we can use two voltage supply for the op amps. For the positive voltage and then the other one negative voltage. This is the point of reference or the ground. So when we're using the op amps, using two voltage supply, we have the ground to the center of the graph. So this is a graph pertaining to the voltage over a period of time. Voltage over the period of, this one is time. Okay. We can see it in the oscilloscope, this part. So using only one supply, what happened is here, we have the, again, the graphs. Because we're using one supply, we are using 9 volt supply here. Because of that, we are getting an offset of 9 volts to the graph. And we are now going to create a virtual ground. So that now it becomes plus 4.5 volts to, we consider that as minus 4.5 volts if we consider this type of graph. Let us see that. So because we're using the two resistor in parallel, we now have this for the positive rail, the negative rail. Okay, in which we're going to, which the waveform goes here, the waveform of the signal, the output. By the way, what is the output of the op amp? It is train of pulses, PWM, this one. So we created virtual ground, and the supply will now to be divided into two, plus 4.5 volts to minus 4.5 volts. This minus 4.5 volts, if you are considering this new 0 volts or this virtual ground. Okay, so we divide the two, the 9 volts into 2. The 9 volts now is going to be divided into 2 volt or into 2 supply. That is the use of these two resistor in parallel. And then how can we produce this output? So during the charging, okay, initially our circuit, it is capacitor is charging. So current flows out from the pin number 6, then to the resistor, then to the capacitor, charging this capacitor. So if this is the graph, charging that looks like this. Okay, charging the capacitor. And then when it's charging, the output is high. On, it means on. High. High. So the current flows here. And also, what happened to the positive feedback? What is the purpose of this positive feedback? Well, it serves as a latch switch. It will continue to latch or so that this charging of capacitor is still charging upon reaching the threshold voltage until it reaches the threshold voltage. So the current flows also here R4 then to this point. The current flows here from supply R1, R2, then to the R2. From this node to the R2 to the ground. Because the output is high when the capacitor is charging. And the waveform we created is this. We can see that in the oscilloscope. Charging the capacitor up to certain threshold, certain voltage. And the current flows becomes active or high level. So the current flows from here from 6 to R3, then charging the capacitor. Also here from R4 to R2, then to the ground. Also here. And what happened to the two transistors? Since this is high, or the current flows now in this direction, because the current flows in this direction, since this PNP, reverse biasing this transistor. So there's the LED here is off. All the LED here is off. Because the current flows here, PNP. While here, current flows here to the base of the transistor, causing this transistor to switch on. Since switching on this transistor, now current flows from 9 volts to the 4 parallel LEDs. It turns on these 4 LEDs in parallel. Then to the collector to emitter. This transistor now is on. These all LEDs are on. And this other side is off. Because transistor is off, LED off. So what is the capacity of the transistor here, the collector current? It can handle up to 100 milliampere. 100 milliampere. So for each LED, it consumes 20 milliampere, only 80 milliampere. Because 20 times 4 is 80, so this transistor can able to handle that 80 milliampere of current. This LED. This is a current limiting resistor, not to burn the LED. So when this switch on, this LED also turns on. Because this transistor serves as a driver and at the same time as a switch. Now, what do you call that configuration or mode? Or we call that a sourcing current. Because we get the power here from the sourcing current of the 741. Current flows here to the pin number 7, then flows out. Pin number 7, then to the load. It is sourcing current. Okay? Once or whenever the capacitor is charging. That's why we are creating this waveform, charging the capacitor. And the output, the equivalent here is the positive voltage. Since we are using 9 volts here, so the 9 volts now will be divided into two, 4.5 volts plus to minus 4.5 volts here. This is the minus 4.5 volts because the waveform will swing from 4.5 volts and then to negative 4.5 volts. This is the original ground now because of the offset. This is now the ground, the virtual ground. And we have now the positive voltage here. And then this one, negative voltage here. Since, how can we get that negative voltage? Oh. Once this capacitor reach the threshold voltage, it will now starts to discharge. So this time capacitor now will going to discharge. Once it reach the threshold, capacitor discharge. Oh, because of we're using this positive feedback, it flips the output. So it means from positive voltage, it flips into negative voltage. Okay, negative voltage here. So now it will discharge from this C1 0.47 microfarad 50 volts to R3 1.5 mega ohms, and then what is now the output of the op-amp? It is low. When the capacitor is discharging, the output is low, so the current flows towards op-amp, or flows inside the op-amp, into the op-amp. So from capacitor R3, then pin number 6, then to the op-amps. So this is low. What happened now to the positive voltage, positive feedback? Since this is low, now the current flows from 110 ohms to the ground, and this current now will reverse in direction from here, R4, to the pin number 6, because this is low, then to the op-amps. This inverting and non-inverting input op-amps, there's no current that flows here theoretically, but actually there's a negligible current flows inside this op-amp. But for the purpose of discussion, it is usually negligible, so almost no current flows from positive to negative inverting. So because the capacitor is discharging towards the op-amp, and also from here positive feedback to the pin number 6, they all flows toward the op-amp. So what happened now to the transistor? So the current now flows from here, since from here, and then to the LEDs, then to the emitter, switching this transistor on, and then to the base, biasing resistor, and then to the op-amp. Since this is low, or considered as grounded, current flows here, switching this transistor. Since this is PNP type, then to the base, then to the op-amp. So this is now low, so it connects here. So what happened now here? So because this is low, current flows here. No current will flow here. Okay? So this one is now on, and this transistor is on also on. Since this is on, it will now turns on all the LEDs from the emitter to the collector. Again, serve as a switch. Emitter to collector, it will turn on this LED. So the moment again that what do you call that mode or config? Since we are using this as an oscillator, the op-amps now is sinking current, because the current flows from the load to the op-amps, and the op-amp gets its power or is connected to the ground. This is a sinking current mode. When it's charging, sourcing current, this one is on. When it's sinking, this load now is on, or this transistor, and it sinks to the op-amp. So when the capacitor is charging, this one now, and then discharging, will create this negative voltage. But we can see this as on and off, because in the op-amp, the signal, or the signal here, since we are creating a PWM, is usually it did not reach the positive rail. It did not swing the pulley to the positive rail. Usually it's I think plus volts difference. So instead of swinging it to 4.5 volts, it will swing only for 3.5 volts plus 1 volts. 1 volt, we call that also here to the negative. Usually negative here is I think negative 2 volts. So it's around 2 or 1.5 volts to the negative swings. So it will not fully swings to the positive rail and then to the negative. There is we call that voltage. Okay, when the capacitor is charging, the op-amp is sourcing this transistor on. With the capacitor discharging, this transistor is on. So it will alternately flashing the LED, alternate flashing of the LED. We have this alternate flashing of the LED due to the sinking and sourcing of current by the op-amp. And we're using one supply, and because of that, we created a virtual ground so that our waveform will swing from positive voltage rail to negative voltage rail here. But since we have the offset, we can see that as just an on-off or train of pulses. By the way, using the graph for the charging of capacitor here, it will produce an output positive. Then for the discharging, the graph of the capacitor is this. Charge again, discharge, charge, discharge. And then the output is on, off, on, off, on, off, on, off, on, off, on, off. Charge, the output is on or high. Discharge, the output is low. Then charge, discharge, high, low, high, low. So it blinks LED on and off. And then we call that before this voltage rail in positive and negative voltage rail. The voltage threshold before the capacitor is discharging, voltage threshold, or we call that positive here, positive voltage saturation or saturation voltage, VSAT. Positive voltage saturation or positive saturation voltage. And then to the negative, we call that negative voltage saturation or saturation voltage. Negative VSAT. That is when the capacitor is reach its threshold when charging, and the waveform or the signal is reaching the threshold, which is around I think 3.5 in the case of this 741 op-amps. It will not hit a rail-to-rail output. There is a certain voltage threshold. We call that voltage threshold before it flips the output into the negative voltage saturation, then flips again into positive, negative, positive. Just like here, positive, negative, positive, negative. Positive, negative, positive, negative, positive. That is the creation of dual LED flasher, or this blinking LED on-off, alternate blinking. We can use that in our LED cube. And by the way, why are we using transistor here? Because our output is not enough to drive these 8 LEDs. Because this op-amp can only sync the sink current here and source current, or source current here and sink current here at around plus 20 milliampere. For just plus 20 milliampere, that is the sinking current, output current of these op amps. Also the sourcing current and the sinking current. So it's not enough to drive these 8 LEDs. Because all in all, we have 20 LEDs, 20 milliampere times 8, 160 milliampere. To do that, we need to use a transistor as a driver. This and what do you call these two transistors, by the way? This is called push-pull transistor output. Pushing the current and pulling the current. Pushing the current, that is sourcing current. Pulling current from this towards op amp, it is sinking current. Pushing, pulling.